It's on?
Yeah.
It's on right now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For y'all that don't know, for those of you who do not know, this is Source Nectar, right? What, like, or what you calling yourself these days?
Let's just start from me sitting with you.
Okay.
Start now.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, that's still, either way, I had to bring you in, though, like, and now. So, what are you going by? You know what I mean?
Source
I tell
Nectar.
people, yeah.
Source Nectar.
On the Twitter and on the
Instagram and YouTube.
It's Source Nectar.
And sourcenectar.com.
Okay. So is it like any underscores or anything? Or is it just Source Nectar?
Source Nectar _ Nectar at Instagram, because someone stole my awesome name after I made it my Twitter handle.
Oh.
I waited a day to keep it.
That's terrible, yeah, no, but you know, you gotta put like the real Source Nectar and stuff.
Yeah, right. People know.
But yeah, so what do you do? Or basically, what drives you, I guess, from day to day?
Okay, what drives me from day to day is interacting with other people and learning how to just express love and health and healing in a way that is accessible to others. Like to show them an example of I've been where you are, or a similar scenario where you are, feeling lost, and then using my own tools within and my own path and doing a bunch of research and trial and error, healing myself.
So for you, what was the biggest step in that? Like the first, or I guess like the initial steps in that?
The initial steps of healing myself?
Yeah.
Recognizing that I had no idea how to take care of myself, like at all. And that it wasn't my fault.
So yeah, like you were saying, you were in a profession where you wanted to help people.
Yeah,
and you felt like maybe, how can I help people if I'm not?
Well, yeah, I was a psychiatric counselor, and I'm trying to help other people, and like the whole time I don't even know how to do like minimum bare self-care. I didn't know how to cook. I didn't know how to take care of myself. My sleep was off from college. I burned out really fast.
Yeah.
Because that's what happens when you don't take care of yourself.
So
and overextend yourself in the working field. And then I had my own problems with health, like IBS, all these things. I still had depression for like since I was in high school. But what made the drive of me to get healthy was the fact that I had physical pain that was so strong I couldn't ignore it. Like I feel like with emotional and mental things, a lot of people like ignore it and suppress it and push it down. But with physical pain, it's like right in your face, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna do something about this.
Yeah. You can't deny it.
So, and through that process of changing my diet to like plant-based, I also noticed a huge improvement in my depression and just my overall mood and energy and fatigue. So I was like, how are we not utilizing this as the #1 way to combat any symptoms that we're having, especially mental illnesses?
Changing diet.
Changing diet, because that is just all about how we interact with the world and how we're digesting the world and what we allow into ourselves in all types of ways. So,
for you, what would be the ideal diet? I mean, it doesn't. I don't know. You know, where you are and what your ideals are is you know, sometimes those are two different things. But what
for myself?
Yeah, like what to you is the most like I guess a complementary diet for the human body.
Well,
your perspective on that.
My perspective on that. For me, right now, like when I went raw, I noticed a huge difference. I tried straight vegetables for almost a year on some keto, like on a keto type of, and like nuts and all these things, and it just was lots of oils, lots of nuts, and lots of vegetables. It was inflammatory. I got better to a sense, and then I plateaued, like you do with a lot of little tweaks in your diet. Like it makes an improvement, and then you're like, okay, what's the next thing I need to shift?
Yeah.
And so that was okay for a while. Like for a good couple of months, like I got lean again. I was feeling good, but then I started getting like I was just inflamed all the time. And I found out about raw, and like I said, I was willing to do anything. I switched to raw, and then I switched to just fruit. Once I heard about Dr. Morris, I just switched to fruit, and within 1 month, it was completely more progress than I ever had. A whole year of trying like really strict vegetables made by my own hand.
So significant correlation between the way you were thinking and feeling and what you're putting in your body.
It was huge because the oil. I feel like the oils and the nuts, like they were just way too complex for my body. Like I wasn't. Yeah. I cut out all these other things that were inflammatory, but it still was having a hard time processing. And so I just went to the most simple thing I could do, which was fruit. Like tell me one sentence like digest so fast and will help heal your gut and pull all this stuff out. I'm like, I'm gonna try it. I don't know, I'm gonna try that. So
yeah, no, I get it. Now I get it. So, is there anything besides the fruit? You use anything else? Any supplements? Or
I started using a lot of herbs. I started fasting a lot too. It took a while to get there though. Like first, I was eating heavy fruit for a couple of months, but then
going through the phases though.
Going through the phase, like I think honestly, clear my GI tract out because I needed like a meal would be like I'm eating 6 mangoes right now. Like if I eat 2 mangoes right now, that's a lot.
Yeah.
So
everything shrunk back.
Yeah, so my stomach went from distended to back to being the normal size. Like I started working out fasted, which would make me intermittent fast until like 2 or 3 p.m. I didn't eat until after. And then a week of that, I did my first dry fast for my 25th birthday, like 36 hours or something, and then it was easy after that. Fasting became natural. Like I don't tell people to do it unless you're ready to do it. Like I just felt like, oh, I could do that.
So you felt like, for me, I know with the fasting, I felt like after my organs got back in place, I didn't want to get them back out of place. You know, like that was kind of where I don't know, I was with fasting, or I am with fasting. So I don't know. I guess can you speak to that as far as like the organs and how you feel and maybe your mood, you know, being bloated, and then, you know, what the benefits of maybe something like yoga can do for like circulation and, you know, not feeling like that. And I mean, because I know you, a lot of people know or may know things or different tips to, you know, in life, but they don't practice it. So like, as you as a person that practices, like, you know, like what do you feel like is beneficial, like as far as
definitely
that?
Need to get movement. Breathing helped a lot because I would find myself like so if I would eat something and I would feel bloated, for bloating there's so many yoga poses you can do that help just naturally move the air up. So I mean most of them are so your colon can be inverted so that the air can move down your intestines and come out, because that was like the worst pain I ever felt in my entire life has been trapped gas.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Like that shit is crazy.
Yeah, because I mean,
I like keeled over crying, and then I went to the doctor. That's how I knew I had IBS. I was like, that was gas. Like that, I thought I was dying. Like I thought something really important was happening in my body. I was freaking out. Fennel tea, ginger tea, those things help. Like
activated charcoal. I mean, I know for the
turmeric, making it from the root, fresh turmeric with black pepper, because you can't utilize it otherwise. But like the fresh sources, like doing these things daily. I would say people with digestive issues, celery juice daily. But also, so movement, like of course, like some kind of movement, stretching, but breathing really helped. Like I would find I was like having problems moving. And the action of when you exhale and suck in and massage all your internal organs, like after I would do that for like 10 minutes, I would be going to the bathroom. Like I'd be going to the bathroom like 3 times in a row and be like, yes, like that's basically what I was trying to do. So that's a really interesting tool too. Like if you're really inflamed, it might hurt really bad to try to do it, but because they're gonna be they're swollen.
Yeah, you know, people with parasites and massive inflammation and sludge and plaque buildup and all that, it's going to be years before they can even expand their lungs fully and do what you're talking about. Like, I mean, they won't even be pushing as into like the organs, like it would just be pushing into, you know, just waste kinds of stuff. I gotta, you know,
still worth.
You definitely have to do it. You have to definitely do it,
or just literally massage yourself. If you can't if you can't inhale your stomach to massage it, then
you should definitely do, practice. Do the breathing for sure.
Breathing.
You know? But
you can like quite literally massage the way that your colon moves, so it moves up and over.
Yeah, definitely. I was just saying, I know a lot of people might expect results too soon with something like breathing. Kind of like the same thing with veganism. Like, so when you went vegan, like
everyone's different. Yeah.
Like
exactly.
Something like withdrawal symptoms and stuff like that. Like, how do you feel? Like, you know, can you speak to your experience in that sector? Withdrawal symptoms. Or changes in energy level as you transition, different things like that, and what got you through, you know, that?
Well, I get a lot of questions about like how hard it was to transition to vegan, or plant-based is even better because vegan still has the options of like all these processed foods, which I do not support. But for me, like, I don't know, I just went cold turkey into vegan because I was just over it. Like my pain threshold was fairly low.
So for you, it was just simple math.
For me, I was like, if I'm in pain every day and it's affecting my quality of life, like I already had all these other symptoms, like I almost had narcolepsy, I felt burnt out at work, I had brain fog.
So was vegan the first thing you tried, or did you go through like prescription medication?
Nope, I went to the doctor and I told him the story about like how I had the pain that made me keel over and like I'd been having like slow bowel movements and stuff, and the doctor like literally took 1 second and was like, oh, it sounds like IBS, here's a piece of paper, here's a card, you have to go to someone else. You know, because that's how it always goes.
Yeah.
There's a different part of your body. You need to go somewhere else because I don't know about that piece. It's different. It's separate. So go to the separate part.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I just came from the mental health where it's like, this is separate also. And I just know it's not at all. So as soon as he gave me this thing, and basically they say, which they say about a lot of illnesses out there, unknown causes in a land of cause and effect.
Yeah.
And I was just like, so I'm gonna do this by myself. Is what that was. I was like, all right, I'm gonna do this by myself. And I just went my first week vegan. I just did a juice fast. It was my first juice cleanse, and I just went vegan.
Was it intense or?
It was terrible. Don't do it. Don't do it that way.
You think people should do it more gradual?
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, I quit meat, processed foods, fake sugar, coffee, and food all at the same time. And by day 3, I fell asleep. I didn't have any of those at that time. That part was good in my life.
Okay.
I was like I was trying. But like on day 3, by Wednesday, I fell asleep at work. And I was just rude. And I was a counselor, and I was just being irritable. Don't do that. And then I looked it up, and they were like, yeah, for coffee, like wean off like every other day. I would definitely say to do that. Like I would not say to just quit food and go on a juice fast. You can hurt yourself. You can knock a bunch of stuff loose that's not able to come out because your kidneys aren't filtering. I do believe that there's a way to hurt yourself and detox. That's why I think you need people to guide you that have been there and done it for like a while. It's just safety precautions. Because people do it, they start doing it and they give up because all these symptoms come up and your body's not able to actually move the toxins out of your physical body. They're just bouncing around.
Yeah.
So you woke up all these emotional traumas and all these things that have been trying to come out of your liver or whatever for years. But then it still can't go anywhere. So all you're doing is experiencing it times 10.
Yeah.
And then it's intense, and then it's bad, and then people want to stop. And then so they start eating the other food again, which doesn't even make them feel better. It actually just suppresses the feelings.
Yeah.
Because then you're digesting stuff.
Yeah, and then, and then on top of that too, if you take like a supplement or even an herb, that might be a more rigorous herb, I guess, in as far as the cleansing realm, like that. It'll wash away minerals too. So I know a lot of people that might want to get ahead of themselves and just take as much herbs as possible, or things like that. And it's like, nah, it is a gradual process.
You definitely just want to know what you're doing.
It took a long time to get sick.
You just want to be safe. Like I'm not gonna say that herbs are gonna hurt you, but a consistent taking of herbs, like he's saying, you don't know how it's impacting you.
Yeah, you gotta know.
You just gotta know how to work with them. It's not like, oh, you take it and you're gonna be in pain or hurt. It's just how consistently you can take it, how long you can work with it, how strong they are as medicines. Yeah. What you can combine them with. Yeah, if you're utilizing them for the right purpose, or if you're just like, someone said burdock and I'm just gonna take it every day and I don't know what it does. Yeah. Parasites. And it's like, no,
it's liver and skin.
It's like blood.
Yeah. So I get it. So your favorite herbs, or do you have any favorite herbs per se, or herbs that I don't know, like I know there's like pretty much like gentle herbs, and then you have your herbs that are for like intense.
So I was doing parasites real hard until I met you, and then you told me.
Oh, the depths of parasites.
To just be careful with the black walnut all the time. Like, I was doing it all the time. I didn't even know. Like, so I was still learning, but I saw some worms coming out, so I was like, let me just hit these hard if they're already coming out from me eating clean. But then I was doing it like over a month or something, and I mean, he was just like, that's a little dangerous. You need to take breaks because it builds up in your body, right?
Yeah, then you don't want to become dependent on anything.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And so, but even with that, so I don't know if it was that along with all these other herbs, like I went really hard for a while, and then when I would go to take my herbs in the morning, I'd become nauseous. So that is your intuition. Like that's your body intuitively being like, let's take a break. And so That's another thing that people bring up a lot is like they don't trust their intuition when they try to get into detox, so they don't understand when I bring up like, oh, I'm intuitively fasting today, or I'm intuitively eating like only watermelon today. It takes a little bit of time to get there, but the best way to get there is to start listening to yourself, like trusting yourself.
Yeah, you gotta.
Like if you're gonna question everything that you ever say, you're never gonna get to know your intuition. Like you have to take a leap and be like, this one might be true. This one might be true. Let me just try it today. Let me do the watermelon today.
You gotta be more gentle with yourself and your thinking. You can't hold on to the sharp thoughts, man, because you just because people want drastic change. They want they've been stimulated on salt and sugar and things like that. So like everything they're used to, like the intense, quick fix of a drug. Because those are essentially drugs. So like I feel like they want the same thing with the reversal. But like the long haul, the gradual satisfaction of progression every day is to me, I feel like that is more the goal. Like when you realize your process and then you see like, okay, this is the process, and then I'm going through it, and I don't have to get ahead of myself or live beyond my means or think beyond where I'm at right now.
Because that's the thing, it's not like you're not going to detox for 1 month or 2 months or 3 months or 6 months. If you really actually want to get to the root, it's going to take some time. And hopefully you don't have to stay raw or fruit or anything forever, but hopefully you'll think about choosing wholesome foods for your lifestyle for the rest of your life. Like you can still eat cooked foods and shit, but like it needs to be actual vegetables, produce, things that don't have ingredient lists.
And different levels of cooking.
And different levels, like steaming things, like being gentle and nice, and like being slow and low cook and like minimal oil.
Everything you're doing to the food is gonna get done to you. Like if you dehydrate the food, it dehydrates you. If you cook the food, it's cooking you. It's like the same. It's that whole mirror thing there. But so.
So I don't have favorite herbs. That went along. I don't have them yet.
That's a roundabout way.
I just love herbs right now. I mean, the classics are burdock.
So what that do for you socially as you switched, or like your family, relationships, friends, siblings, like everything?
All right. Well, everybody already thought I was crazy, so I just didn't care.
Okay, so it was already like
because the switch to vegan, everyone thinks you're crazy. It's just that's how it's gonna go. Like because you're gonna be the different one. Unless you live somewhere like where it's popular. Just accept that fact. What I had to do was like, I went from not caring about myself so hard that like I just went the whole other way. I was like, all right, well, if not caring about myself got me to this shitty point where I just feel like I'm dying and I'm like 21, 22 years old, drink a lot, depressed, narcolepsy, working a job where I'm like burned out and I feel guilty basically because I'm not giving myself to life as much as I know that I can. And if I'm not doing that, like, what am I living?
Yeah, and that's another thing I was going to say, too. Like, I know the cleansing, the mechanical ends of it are simple to grasp as far as, like, you cleanse, you switch your diet, you do activity, even yoga and things like that. But, like, the abstract part of it, I feel like a lot of people, they kind of miss me with that. Like, I feel like as you cleanse, you're liberating energy, and while you liberate, you're supposed to express.
Learn how to handle it.
Yeah, like I feel like and that's why you should get into some sort of expression to where you can go into physical meditation in a sense, like whether it's like learning the piano or knitting or anything, whatever is your thing, to where you get into that rhythm in your body of doing something, and you can gradually see yourself complete something from. Because nowadays, I feel like the jobs now, like it's like you do this part of a job and this part of a thing. It's not.
You never see it full through, and then you don't get the sasatisfaction of
doing something with your hands.
Full circle,
And I feel like if you do that, then you can, because that just helps with the alignment. I feel like, and as you cleanse, they kind of happen at the same time. But I feel like people just try to do one end of the spectrum and not the other end. Like
it seems like a daunting thing to do. Because, like, who you can see yourself as becoming probably has a complete 180 of habits and personality traits or, like, energy levels that you currently have right now. And so it seems like a really far away existence, like a far away reality or timeline. But it's just pieces at a time. But as you're working on it, definitely, yeah, you have to focus on the Trinity. Like if you're going to be cleaning your body, you have to be realizing that you need to be doing something for your emotional body, which would be moving and doing these things. Like when I went vegan, I met a holistic nutritionist, and one of the best things he ever taught me was just how to roll my muscles out and like how to know when I had like tight hip flexors and how to like locate knots in my own body. Like the first time I ever did pigeon pose, I sobbed because my hips were just so tight. Like I just sobbed. Is it working?
Yeah, I'm just making sure it's still on.
And
oh wait, is it still? Would it be numbers going? I don't know. Yeah, it's still going. It's still going.
It's right there.
It worked. All right. Nah, I'm sorry. So the pigeon pose. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just was making sure. You don't want to be sitting there looking.
I know. Yeah, I know. I can't. There's no light or anything. Yeah. Anyways, so that was when I knew that I had a lot of trauma stored in my body. Like I mean, I feel like I heard that, but you don't really know. But your body is always protecting you. Crazy amounts. Like your body's.
It doesn't do anything to harm itself. It doesn't do anything
to harm you. It's literally your best friend. Talk about unconditional love. This thing has kept you alive when you have literally treated it so bad and had no idea how to take care of it.
Yeah, and I feel like that's the shift though, like where you're shifting from being a consumer to a producer, and that's the huge thing, like as far as veganism, being a parasite to a producer. Like the parasite totally embodying you're eating flesh to go into a different, to less and less of that, to different levels of that, to where you're becoming less of a parasite, more of a producer. You're ousting the physical parasites, and then ultimately it's coming from a metaphysical place. So it's a undoing that you have to do on both ends. But I feel like as you switch that, like, because it's like, what am I liberating energy for? Like, what am I being healthy for? I feel like
that's what a major thing is. People need to know that,
because they don't know their outlet.
They don't know. They just are like, I want to feel better.
They don't know how good the body can feel, and they don't know how good the body can feel doing the thing that they were designed to do, like in their expression in life. So I feel like they're speaking from total ignorance in their own experience, in a sense. Like they blocked that their whole life, to where now you're like, yo, be healthy, and they're like, why? What fuck I want to be healthy for?
I know, like people are like, I don't feel bad. It's like, well, it should be more like, I feel great, but I don't feel that bad isn't really the best answer. But to each his own. Like if this person's not everyone's gonna heal. That's another thing that you have to realize. Like you're gonna be different than other people when you start this.
So like I would say, brothers and sisters, or your siblings,
people are not gonna like
mothers and fathers and. Definitely relationships.
Thankfully, I was single when this all happened, because I don't know if someone would have went along the ride with me. But as soon as I stopped eating meat, I was like, I could never go back. I also could never be with someone that eats it, because I don't know, man.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I didn't even I really didn't even have to watch any of those crazy videos or anything. Like what I did was I legitimately looked up scholarly articles. I'm in a psych department, doing this. I am very studious, so I was looking up scholarly articles about food items and products, and as soon as you tell me a couple times in a row that meat causes problems digestively, and then mad info on how grains are inflammatory, especially in America, I was